quick example of how to do a pitch. So we're Team
Blicky.
Blicky. I was going to say Blicky. We're Team Blicky, and we're pitching our idea of Talent Hotspot. So firstly, I'd like to introduce Ivy. So Ivy's a talent manager at Barbarian Group. Barbarian is a growing company. It's getting quick, rapid interest, lots of people applying for jobs. The company's growing, they're recruiting fast. So Ivy's very results driven. She likes to work in meaningful things. So she wants to make sure that she's doing a good job, that the people she recruits are the right people for the job and they're going to stick with the company. There's a lot of frustration for Ivy at the moment. She's seeing lots of interest, but the candidate quality is low. So she's putting people forward and they're not the right candidates. She's very concerned about attrition, so she's wanting to make sure that she can overcome this and conquer the low employee morale. Ivy needs a quick way to get through the thousands of candidates that get put forward and narrow the list down to a set of appropriate people for the company that she's confident are worthy of bringing in for an interview. So our problem statement is that Ivy needs a way to select candidates that align with Barbarian's hiring needs on a skills and culture basis so that she can be confident that employees are happy enough to stay with Barbarian for at least 2 years. So they don't want to waste time interviewing candidates that are going to come in for a couple of months, not fit with the company, not be happy and leave. So this is a measurable attribute. They want to make sure that they've got a process in place where they can be confident that people are going to stay and it's worth the process. So we've got a who, which is Ivy, we've got a what, which is the ability to select candidates, and the why is we want to make sure that they're candidates that are going to stick with the company. So our task is, or our scenario is, what if you could clone your best employee? Everybody's got somebody in their company that they know is like a key employee, the example, the person that you wish you could have multiple people of.
Me.
So this isn't down to solely skills attributes. So someone can be very skilled in their profession, but they just don't fit with the people they work with. You know, in today's day and age, it's not all about skills, it's about how you work as part of a team, how you fit into the culture of a company. You know, some people do that a lot better than others. So this is the key thing. You find your best culture fit as well as your skill attributes, and that's your cloning your best employees and how you go about doing that. So I've gone a bit far. I'd like to pass over to Blake now, who's going to go into the specific scenario.
Okay, cool, thanks. So the scenario here, and I'm going to have you walk through the demo in a second. The scenario here is that Ivy's been asked by the mobile dev team at her company, at Barbarian Group, to send over some resumes for some developer leads. So you know how hiring works at most companies. You have an HR team that's like the front line, and then you have all these different hiring managers across the company that really know the specific skill set. They kind of usually pass on keywords, maybe some examples of traits that need to be incorporated into this person, but the HR people are typically the front line of defense. They ask the soft skills questions, right? So Ivy's been tasked with finding a dev who knows both Python and C#. So resources are tight, need both skills. They also need to be a great leader. And Ivy knows from her past experience with this department that Gloria Sutter, one of her existing employees, is a great dev lead. So we're going to actually get into it and show you how Ivy, with the tool we've built, Talent Hotspot, is going to find the perfect candidate to pass on to the mobile dev team. So Ivy gets into Talent Hotspot, she simply types, I need another dev, like Gloria. I know Gloria's a perfect dev lead, so I need another dev like Gloria. So what we've done is we've had Gloria actually fill in the same application that any of the candidates applying for jobs at our company would have filled in. So if we click more here, you can see that, if you go down, you can see that Gloria's answered a number of questions. Go to the left. So she's answered a number of questions that applicants would have answered. So they're questions that would inspire creativity. So how do you deal with conflict? Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult person, things like that. Gloria's gone in and answered all those questions, and what Watson has done in the back end is taken all this text, the word choice, the punctuation, everything, and analyzed her personality based on that. So if we go back up to the top of that sort of diagram, hit more again, you can see that, okay, so in this case, she's very open to change. What else is she? Oh, she's very authority challenging, so she has the ability to cut through the BS, and that's what really makes a good leader. So let's look at the candidates and see who might apply. So we've got all of these great candidates here, but we said we need Python and C#, which is a really weird combination. So I'm sure Teddy's great, but I doubt Teddy has both of those skills. It seems kind of like a funny combination. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've typed in Python and C# to some of the skills we're looking for. We've only found 3 in our applicant pool, but lucky for us, Lorraine seems to have a really good fit with Gloria's overall personality profile. So Lorraine filled in some of the same information that Gloria did, those same questions. Watson analyzed both, so they're both sort of constants there. So 87% skill match. It looks like something that we would be willing to forward on, get that resume and forward it on to that department. So we hit the plus again. I think I'm going to send on Lorraine and Anthony. I don't think Paula with a 44% culture match is really good enough. So those two, I'm just going to send those resumes over. And without actually having to call anyone, do a 30-minute skills interview, I have 2 people can shoot off right over to that department. So that's the end of our demo, just to kind of give you an overview there. So lastly, I just want to share with you a little bit about how this works. Because with any hackathon pitch, it's not just about the story. The judges do care about the implementation as well. So this is built for a desktop browser. We use Angular on the front end, Bootstrap, and jQuery to make that really cool UI that you saw there. On the back end, there's a Java runtime working, integrates with Watson and Cloudin, a NoSQL database. There's some code and just kind of an algorithm written in Java that does the matching of candidates against one another. All of the candidate information is stored in Cloudin. Watson User Modeling Service is what analyzes the personalities. So the overall flow is, again, candidates stored there, user picks an employee. Watson then grabs all of those, we grab all the answers to the questions, pump them into the Watson User Modeling API, return all the results that have been compared with the Java sort of algorithm. So that's the overall implementation there. And that's the end of our pitch. That's Talent Hotspot. And thanks for hearing us pitch our app. Makes sense? Yeah.